Yo! So today we're gonna answer some questions in my comment section. Let's get into it. What if my MacBook doesn't have a USB to connect the blue cable to? I'm assuming you're talking about the capture card. All MacBooks have USB ports, so you probably only have USB Type-C and need a USB Type-A. Just buy an adapter. So just get a USB-C hub that has USB-A ports. As long as it's got USB 3.0 on the hub, you should be fine. What if I want to stream Minecraft from PC to TikTok and YouTube for my gaming laptop? Do I need a capture card? No, doesn't sound like it, but I go over that in the first few seconds of the video. So if you're just playing games on your PC and you want to stream that, you don't need a capture card. The only time you need a capture card is if you have an HDMI device that you want to capture, and then that's the stuff that you want to either stream or record. So a console, so a PS5, Xbox, Switch, whatever. I have this exact capture card and follow the instructions on this video exactly, but still getting no audio. Anyone have a fix? I have a fix. Unplug your headphones from your controller. So every single time that I've helped someone out with this no audio problem, they 99% of the time have a headset plugged in their controller. I've never instructed to do that. The audio comes out of your streaming computer, so you plug your headset into there. You take it out of the controller. Another thing that I've seen is on this cheap capture card, there is a headphone port and a microphone port. Don't use those. So I see people plugging their headphones directly in there. That's not what it's meant for, and that actually damages the capture card because it's meant for a different type of cable. So don't use that. So my solution is unplug your headset from your controller. I have an Xbox Series S and I only have an HDMI out, so I can only have my screen showing on my laptop but not my monitor. Is there a workaround to getting my Xbox to display both the laptop and monitor? A lot of people get this confused and I don't know why. When you are streaming, before you started streaming, you obviously have your console, in this case your Xbox. You had it hooked up to a display of some kind. So when you stream, you will still use that display. So if it's your TV or a monitor, your Xbox will still be connected to that because you need two HDMI cables. At the moment, you only have one HDMI cable, and that goes from the Xbox to your TV. All the capture card does is it's like just like a little in-between item that is just like a pathway to your monitor. So it goes from Xbox to the capture card, and then from the capture card to the display. And then you hook up the capture card to your streaming computer with a USB cable. You still have to have a monitor when you're using a capture card. A lot of people think that you can just play straight off of the preview that's on your laptop or your computer. You can't. There's latency on that, and it's a terrible way to play video games. I don't have an individual headset and mic. They're both connected, and I don't know how to be able to talk and hear only one or the other. I didn't really understand your question, but that's normal. So a lot of people just have a gaming headset that's got a microphone built into it. If you're trying to talk about like people being able to hear you in your party chat, you won't be able to do that. The only way you'll be able to do that is if you have an Elgato capture card, because Elgato has a setting in it where you can use a product called like their Elgato chat link, and your headset that you use for gaming with the microphone built in, you can have that plugged in as well as using it for streaming. There is a caveat to that. You still need a separate microphone to be able to record your talking audio, and you're probably super confused by now, but it's way easier to just not use like the built-in party chat or Xbox chat or whatever. Just use Discord. So on your streaming computer, you can plug in your gaming headset that has the microphone, and then you can hear all your audio from the video game, and then also you just initiate your Discord call from there. You can hear your friends and they can hear you. Everything's good. So it's easier that way. If I only use HDMI, will it capture the sound from PS4? Yes. I don't know why that's confusing. So when you have your PS4 hooked up to your TV, does sound come out of the TV? Yes, it's because the sound's being passed through the HDMI cable. Now, if you plug in a headset in your controller, it won't go through the HDMI cable. So you gotta make sure your headset's plugged into the streaming computer and the sound will come through HDMI just fine. I'm unable to get my PS5 output audio to OBS laptop even after adding custom sound as USB 3.0. Please solve the problem. You have your headset plugged in your controller every single time. every single time you have your headset plugged in your controller, that's guaranteed what it is. Or like some people will be adamant that they don't, and then you find out that they have the 3D Pulse headset that's got a USB dongle that goes into the PlayStation. You can't have that plugged in either, because let me just put it this way. When you have headphones connected to the controller or the 3D Pulse headset, does sound still come out of your speakers on the TV? No, because that'd be stupid because you have headphones on. So same thing with the capture card. The capture card's relying on the HDMI output to supply the audio. So if you plug in a set of headphones into your console any way that you can, it's going to eliminate the audio from coming through the HDMI, and it's just going to go through the headphones. So unplug your headphones from the controller, plug your headphones into the streaming computer, problem solved. Dude should have showed me where to put the first HDMI cable instead of hooking up the second one. Now I'm confused. Why are you confused? Where, like, right now you only have one HDMI cable. What's it plugged into? Plugged in your console, and the other end goes in the TV. All I did was just show you the first step is unplug it from your display, because the other end's plugged in the console, and you plug that into the HDMI input of the capture card. Not too hard to follow. Help, will this work on a Google Chromebook? I know almost nothing, thanks, subbed. No, it won't. Won't work on a Chromebook. You need an actual computer, so PC or Mac. Chromebooks, you just look up the system requirements for OBS Studio, and then there you go. Did all the steps, but my screen in OBS is still black. Since you're looking at my Switch video, I would just tell you, just redock your Switch. So just unplug your Switch from the dock, plug it back in, that should fix it. I've done all these steps, no audio from my capture card. The volume's turned all the way up, there's no movement, and I can't hear anything on my stream. You probably have your headphones plugged in your controller. That's it every single time. So unplug your headset from your controller. If you don't, a lot of you don't have your OBS set properly. So when you add your capture card as an audio source, you click on the little 3 dots in the audio mixer section of OBS Studio, and then there's an advanced option, and then in there you make sure that your capture card audio is set to monitor and output. So that'll mean that you can hear the sounds as they're coming in while they're playing. Just only do that for your capture card though. Following this video, I was finally able to get my capture card set up. Thank you. The one issue I'm having is that I cannot hear audio even though I stuck to my capture card audio. I also checked the audio mixer bar and seen that the audio input from the capture card is working. I just don't hear anything. So that's what I just explained. So this person actually doesn't have their headset plugged in their controller. They just didn't do that final step in my video where you set up the capture card audio to monitor and output. And that's done in the advanced settings in the audio mixer. And that's why they don't hear anything. Does this add latency? Yes. So if you are planning on playing off of the preview on your computer, don't. That will have latency, but the pass-through to your TV or monitor will not have latency. So what does that mean? That means you have to have a capture card that has an HDMI output, and that port plugs directly into the TV or monitor you were previously already using to play your console off of, and that will have no latency. That's what you should be playing off of. You should not rely on the OBS preview. You only use that just to see to make sure that your stream or recording is working. People should be able to hear your voice chat fine on Discord. Yes, so just initiate the Discord call from the streaming computer, and then you can add Discord as an audio source, because in OBS Studio, you can have it capture audio from an application, in this case, Discord. So that way you just initiate the Discord call from your streaming computer. You can have a chat with your friends and whoever, and then that will be captured on stream so people could hear your talk with your friends, and then as well as the game audio coming from your capture card. Well, how can I hear audio from console and headphones if I can't plug them into console controller? If I plug them into monitor, I can't hear the audio very well. Same from capture card. Any tip? Edit? I don't know why this is so confusing. You plug them into the computer, the streaming computer, and then you can control all the audio from there. You can turn it up, turn it down. Do not ever plug your headphones into the capture card directly or into your controller. That's not how you do it. And then in the monitor, don't plug it in the monitor either. Plug it into the streaming computer. This works great for me, but audio keeps making crackling noises. Is there a way to fix this? And then they actually updated it. I fixed it. It needed to be connected to a USB 3.0 slot. I'm pretty sure I go over that in my video, but great. I'm glad you figured it out. I have a monitor that only has one display port. Will it work with the HDMI display port adapter? No. So that confuses me because no console uses display port. So I kind of feel like you're wanting to do like maybe a dual PC streaming setup and you want to capture the display from your gaming PC, you don't use DisplayPort. You have to use HDMI. So if I was doing that, you have your DisplayPort cable connected to your gaming monitor, then I would plug in an HDMI cable into the graphics card as well, as if you're hooking up a second monitor, but the second monitor is just your capture card. And then so the other end would go in the capture card, and you got to do some stuff in OBS to mirror the display onto the capture card. Maybe I'll make a video about that, but the answer is no. You can't use DisplayPort and the adapter won't work. I can't set my rate control to CBR, only AVR is available. It's because you're using X264 as your encoder on Mac. So don't worry about it, just use AVR, it's fine. Do I need 2 monitors or can I use one? You need a separate display for your console or whatever gaming platform you're planning to play on, and a separate monitor for whatever the streaming computer is. So if you already have a TV that you're playing your console on and you have a laptop, just use that for your streaming computer. But if you have a desktop PC that needs its own monitor, and that's also the monitor that you use for your gaming console, then yes, you'll need a second display. So you can't just share both. Doesn't have to be like an amazing display. Just go buy a cheap one off of like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever. Just find something for $100 or cheaper. You can go to like electronics recycle places and they have dirt cheap monitors that you can just pick up, but you need a separate monitor that's separate from your gaming display from whatever your console's hooked up to. How do I go about getting game chat and party chat in my stream? I stream from PlayStation. You follow my video that shows you how to do that. You need an Elgato capture card to do that though with the chat link cable. It does not work with the cheap $30 capture card. I turned my HDR on while the capture card was connected. What do I do? The screen went black. Well, I told you to turn that off. So a lot of people are very adamant about turning all these features on. They don't understand what they do. They just want them all on because they think that just will make things better. It doesn't. You can't stream in HDR. So Twitch doesn't even support HDR streaming. When you upload content to YouTube in HDR, only very few people who have HDR displays can actually turn HDR on and actually get the full benefit of the footage. To everyone else, all of your footage will look faded. So there's no point in having HDR on unless you're like very specifically looking to make HDR content, which is such a small niche. It's probably like less than 1% of the internet. And then same with like 4K and things like that. Like a lot of people like are adamant they want to have like high refresh rate and 4K on for their consoles, and it's like, one, how many console games run at 120 FPS in 4K that aren't just like previous gen games from like PS4 PS3 era? It's like hardly any. So most people, 1080p 60 is more than fine. So just turn all that stuff off. For you, because if you have a black screen, you have to disconnect your PlayStation from the capture card, plug it back directly into the display, and then turn the feature off and then plug it back in the capture card. Can I stream on TikTok with a capture card? Yes, you just have to have the TikTok plugin for OBS Studio. So we just answered a bunch of questions in my comments. I might do this every single week, depending. But yeah, also, I have a Discord that you can go to for free. It has written out instructions for all of the videos that I've made so far. So if you find it difficult to follow along with the videos and just would prefer written out instructions, go to my Discord for free. They're all there in KB articles. I did that for you for free, so I hope you enjoy.